Tubi is known for creating art.
Miss Milford.
Oh. Well,
Thanks, sweet cheeks.
Anytime, honey bun.
I never said it was good art. One of their new movies is called Sidelined, The QB and Me. It's actually even based on a book, which is called The QB Bad Boy and Me. That is a title. Yes, I did put myself through torture for all of you.
You taking Adderall? This is all natural, baby.
So we've got Dallas, who is the sister of the football coach of the high school they go to. And his name is Houston. I'm joking, his name is Nathan. And I have to say, for like the first 30 minutes of this movie, I was very convinced that this was her father. I just kind of assumed that he was 40 years old, but he had like a great skincare routine. Turns out he's just a 27-year-old man. And Dallas is a dancer, and she's also one of the new cheerleaders for this high school football team, where her brother is the coach. But to make it clear to us that she is in fact a dancer,
let's discuss the summer reading.
They make it a point to have her dance in class, like just while she sits in her seat waiting for the class to actually start. And this is the first time we actually see her. And the quarterback of this high school football team is called Drayton. I don't think that's a real name. It sounds like a name generator came up with this. And it just kind of spat out a combination between Drew and Peyton. Yeah, you know what? Give me Drayton. But he's also played by Noah Beck, which I didn't think is a sentence I would ever say in my life, let alone in 2026. And if you don't know who Noah Beck is, then picture yourself lucky. I am about to ruin it for you though.
What's up, Shay? What's up, Lynn?
Ew.
I hit it raw, she see me in public like, what's up, friend?
I feel sick to my stomach having to think about that for the rest of this day. But also, Drayton's dad is, I think, the principal at the school.
Drayton's committed to Waco.
They never actually tell us what he does, but he wears suits all days. And I feel like principals are the only people who actually do that every day. And as you would expect, Drayton is like the superstar of this high school. So he shows up late to his first day of class, of course.
I'm just managing expectations. There's only one way to go from here.
Yeah, that wasn't funny. And Dallas drops one of her AirPods on the floor. So he just puts it in his ear, listens to one of her songs.
Interesting.
And then just puts it back on her table without saying anything. Also, it pisses me off because every single time this man talks in like the first 20 minutes of this movie, everyone just kind of gives him a pity laugh in the background, like a background track.
Romeo and Juliet had their whole lives ahead of them.
Maybe they just want to have a little fun.
This man thought that Romeo and Juliet were just vibing out together. My brother, they died. He just does what quarterbacks do though. Like, you know what I mean? He just tells someone to go long and then they do it, they go long.
Yo, Chase, go long.
And then he throws it, except for the fact that he absolutely misses the shot. But of course, it lands into the hands of one of the cheerleaders, who is Dallas, the person, not the city, who he just calls...
Nice catch, cheer.
Cheer.
Cheer. Cheer.
And in general, a very big topic of this movie is that Drayton has to pick the next step of his career after high school.
Drayton, look, you got a serious shot at going pro.
Because he wants to go pro, but his coach doesn't think he's ready and he just needs to go to a good college program, which is going to get him ready and in shape to become a professional down the line. But Drayton doesn't think he can do that.
I'm a quadruple legacy at Waco.
Because he's a quadruple legacy at Waco. So why would he even consider going to a different program? If you've ever seen those TikToks about what Americans sound like to non-Americans.
I'm so done with junior high. I can't wait till I write my AP final exam so I can finally apply to the state school.
This is it. A quadruple legacy at Waco.
Quadruple legacy at Waco.
That sounds like one of the most made up terms I've ever heard in my life. And mind you, this far in, after watching this movie 3 times, I still don't know whether or not that's actually a real thing.
Whatever you say.
If someone ever salutes me like that, we're fighting. Don't do that. Teenagers piss me off for no reason. I don't know why. Like, they didn't actually do anything wrong, but them just being what they are pisses me off. Also, I love that as I say that, Noah Beck is 24 years old. The last time that that man was a teenager was 2021. So him and Dallas are having like this real deep conversation, and this man drops the corniest line of all time.
You can ask around. I'm pretty much a football legend.
A football legend? Really? I've never seen a football game in my life, but like, come on, man. Who do you think you are? You're not Ryan Leaf? Yes, I did literally just Google worst NFL player of all time, and this is what came up. I have no idea who that is. I'm so sorry. Remember what I said about teenagers pissing me off?
Drayton, Go long.
I meant it. It's like their brains don't work because they keep doing this whole go long thing, and Drayton just keeps running to catch the ball, which he of course does because the other guy tells him to go longer.
Longer, dude, come on.
I didn't know that's a thing you can do. Like, you can go long, you can go longer as well. And Drayton, who apparently doesn't have eyes anymore, just runs straight up into Dallas's car. And he breaks her mirror so she can't drive anymore.
Crap, I'm sorry.
So he busts her car up, and now his brother is going to drive her to her dance studio. But after this, Drayton goes to Dallas's house
Hey, Chair.
to show up and repay her for the damage he caused.
Here to break my front window too?
Damn, that was cool. But he shows up with an envelope full of cash to come pay for her car, which is suspicious.
I'm not your charity case.
It's not like that, all right? It was my fault, and I want to make it right.
Who just walks around town with an envelope full of $1,000 in cash? Especially a high schooler. Boy, if you don't just use Venmo, like that's not a thing. It's never really revealed to us how he managed to get all of this cash. His family's pretty rich, so it could be that he stole it from his parents, but they never told us, so it might also not be. But I think there's going to be a spin-off where Drayton is secretly a cocaine dealer. That's his side gig. So the next day, they show up to school again, and Dallas joins the cool kids table for lunch.
Wow. Cheers joining us.
So you coming to the party tonight?
And Drayton still hasn't actually learned what her name is. He still calls her Cheer, but that does not stop him from shooting his shot.
I don't date.
Not yet, but every rule has exceptions.
At a table with like 9 other people sitting right next to them. While he's flirting with her, everyone just kind of stops their own conversations. It's like they knew that they were cast to be side characters in this movie, so they kind of just stopped having any and all side conversations they could ever have.
But what, you don't ever have a itch that needs to be scratched?
Ew. Why did you do that? Disgusting. So Dallas's whole storyline in this movie is that she is a dancer who wants to make it into Cal Arts, which is like a Californian arts and dancing school, which is actually very similar to Drayton's story. But in her case, her teacher earlier just told her that she doesn't think she's good enough to actually make it as a professional dancer. However, Dallas disagrees. She actually believes she's so ready to go to Cal Arts and actually make it as a dancer.
I'm out of here the day after graduation, so there's no point.
And that's why she does not want to date anyone in high school, because after this, she's gonna leave town anyways. Now, I've never danced a day in my life, so what do I know, right? That was hot ass. I'm so sorry. That was not good. I also love how this is like one of those anti-peer pressure movies, which I think we might need a bit more of, especially because I've recently watched Gossip Girl. There's not much consent in that show whatsoever. Because when one of Drayton's best friends asks him whether or not he wants to play beer pong with him,
Oh, Drayton. Ready for some beer pong?
he says no because he has a football game the next day.
Oh man, I'm out. Practice tomorrow.
Respect, man.
And the guy just respects his decision. That was a very quick and respectful interaction, which I don't think is realistic at all. And I also can't help but feel that if this movie was made in 2010, this scene would have looked incredibly different. But Dallas convinces him that he can actually play with them as long as he just uses water and doesn't drink alcohol,
You could play with water.
which is a very basic and good idea. But it's kind of funny because Dallas spends the first half of this movie not trying to interact with Drayton whatsoever. And now she's doing all the work for him to make them play beer pong together. So they make a deal. If he wins, they go on a date. And if she wins, they never talk about going on dates ever again.
If I win, I get to take you on a date. But if I lose, never ask again.
Turns out she's a quadruple legacy when it comes to beer pong. Because she whoops his ass.
No way.
Goodbye, Drayton.
So that's it. No more dates with Drayton. She won. A promise is a promise. They just finish their high school year, never talk again, and they go their own paths.
Hit me.
Nah, I'm lying. Dallas gets drunk. However, she didn't spend the night with Drayton. While she's taking shots, her best friend shows up,
Dallin!
absolutely mispronounces her name. She calls her Dallin.
Dallin!
I think somebody forgot their lines. She also fist bumps the barman's high five.
Night, Chase.
Night.
Night.
Where I'm from, that's 7 years of bad luck. You can't do that. But yeah, she gets so drunk.
I love walking.
And eventually a mystery biker pulls up on her.
Jesus, Drayton, I thought I was about to be violently murdered.
Are you insane?
It's Drayton, baby. Who gives her a ride home? Well, not to her house. He brings her to his house. He could have just brought her to her house. They don't live that far apart from each other. But luckily, as I said, we do know consent in this movie.
So it wasn't a giant scheme?
which weirdly enough, even Dallas herself is surprised by. Like, she herself even expected him to be a worse person than he actually apparently is. But we do get a scene of him undressing in front of her.
Maybe you're not so cliche.
And in between, she's like peeking while she's half drunk. And of course, there's dubstep playing. I don't really have anything else to say about this. I just felt like you needed to see this because it's part of the story. You're welcome. And as she wakes up, we see a random bowl of M&Ms right next to his table. He just kind of has this on display. It makes me think that whoever did set design for this movie and was in charge of decorating everyone's bedrooms decided that they need to look a little bit more like teenagers. So they decided to just throw some red 40 and sugar all over the place. Also, this scene of Dallas explaining to Drayton's mom that nothing happened between them is hilarious to me.
Well, we didn't. I'm gonna go.
I also have no commentary to give her either, but I just wanted to include it in this video. Then we cut back to them in the bus on the way to the team's football game.
Great.
3 seconds after trying to ignore Drayton, put her AirPods in, not talk to him at all. Because as you know, she's focused on dancing. She just wants to make it in her career, in life. She's thinking about her future, right? Because she does not have time for boys. She's made that very clear. She's just feeding Drayton grapes right into his mouth. This girl might have the weakest defense I've ever seen. Like, he's not trying at all and everything is going very well for the two of you. Like, at this point, he's not trying anything at all, but it's just kind of progressing. I do wonder why he just randomly has one of those Ziploc baggies full of green grapes. But at this point, and even after watching the whole movie, I have too many questions about Drayton that are never really answered. So this is just one of them that we're adding to the list. Because she runs into him as he's holding a trash can full of chips bags. I'm telling you, this man is suspicious. And when he asks her which one she would like to have, this is what she calls Cheetos.
Which one do you want?
Those cheesy things.
Are we avoiding copyright or something? Like, is Mr. Cheeto looking for his license and you guys didn't pay it? Remember that Dallas said she wasn't interested in going on dates with Drayton at all and that she was just focused on herself? She just keeps lying. So her best friend gave her a red dress that she could wear to impress Drayton and she said, no, I'm not interested. I wouldn't do that. Well, here she is wearing this exact same dress with Drayton on a little nighttime walk as they're hand in hand.
Come on.
We see right through you, miss. You can't fool us. It is kind of cute though, because they have this little cute dancing scene with the two of them at this party. But especially because it's salsa, which is not notoriously sensual or romantic at all, right? Like, at all. It's very vanilla, I would say. Except it wasn't that cute when Drayton tried to dance, because that man cannot dance to save his life. She even tries telling him to move to the beat. Horrible idea. This man doesn't know where the beat is. That boy has no rhythm at all. I do have to say that this is where I kind of related to Drayton for the first time, because this is exactly what my last salsa night looked like. It hurts. Okay, it hurts. But only this one time, because right after that, he tried to sneak a kiss in there again. And at this point, we're kind of halfway through the movie and they're in front of a door about to kiss.
Not be so bad.
Where the hell were you?
But her brother shows up. Nobody saw that coming. The coach, brother, dad looking man shows up to prevent his sister from actually going on a date with someone. It's almost like they brought up Romeo and Juliet on purpose because this is going to be like a 2024 rendition of that story. Except for in this one, no one actually dies. So then the next day they have to go in with their parents, their families, and talk to the school's director, who says that them getting caught is no small potato.
These aren't small potatoes.
Great. Now I'm craving fries.
I have never once in my life heard that expression used. But Drayton just had to make it worse. Who is writing these lines? So now they're suspended from school. He might not get a college offer. She's gonna have this on her dancing school resume and she might not make it either. It really is rough. It lasts like 2 minutes. And then everyone makes up again. We're all good. We're friends. Everyone's happy. No one's mad anymore. Her and her brother, dad coach, are cool again. They hugged it out. They're fine. And then Drayton shows up at her dance class, which makes her teacher come up with the idea of having them dance it out. Because dancing is better than talking.
No talking.
And that in general, instead of talking, they should use their bodies to connect.
You're gonna have a conversation with your bodies.
Man, I feel like you knew what you were doing here. You know damn well that this 18-year-old high school boy has been thinking about that the entire movie so far.
Look, I'm not a dancer.
Everyone's a dancer.
Also, no he's not. We've seen him dance. He is horrible. That's just what you say to new people to convince them to sign up to your dancing school. That's not an actual thing, okay? Not everyone can dance. So yeah, they dance it out, they're cool now, the fight's over. Then Drayton joins her to visit her dancing school in California. And it's almost like we have a 3-year time skip. They are a full-on couple at this point. Like they're sharing an Airbnb together. They're wearing eye masks, sitting in a hot tub together. As I said, I've seen this movie 3 times by now, and I still don't really understand how or why this happened so quickly. But this all ends with them playing Truth or Dare together, and she dares him to call his brother and to ask him whether he could borrow a blow-up doll from him.
I dare you to prank call Josh and ask if he has any blow-up dolls for sale.
Which he, for some reason, does in a British accent.
Yes, I'd like to place an order for a blow-up doll.
That was not part of the request at all. Like, she never said that. As you may have predicted though, this in the whole Airbnb, this whole situation, of course, leads to them kissing again. But even after all of this, she still wants to pretend that they're friends. She even calls him Bud.
We'll definitely see each other at games. Bud.
Oh my god. The Bud card? The Bud zone? That's almost like the premium version of the friend zone. Imagine you kiss your half-girlfriend and she calls you buddy. But she couldn't even do that, so she calls you Bud.
Bud.
Really, Bud?
Bud.
I swear I could not live with myself. At least she does realize just how weird that was.
And I wish I could take it back because now it's so complicated.
Because they make up, they kiss again. I think this is the 3rd or 4th one so far in the movie. But this time, it's different, because they smash. So yeah, now they're a real couple. Like, life's great, they're having the time of their lives. She's getting better at dancing, he's still going along. They even get emotional together. He tells her about his dead sister.
It's from my twin sister. Her name was Abigail.
So to make him feel better and console him, she does a dance. I don't know why this was the idea. I don't think that would help anyone in this situation, but it might be cute, I guess. Also, his dad pisses me off.
Drayton, dinner's ready.
He interrupts her dance to tell Drayton that dinner is ready and that she has to leave. Because, of course, why would his girlfriend join you for dinner, right? That's not a thing. But by the way he says it, dinner is ready, you would think he cooked up a feast. Some turkey, some mashed potatoes, some veggies. No!
Boys, we're gonna need some plates.
I got it.
They literally just ordered 2 bags of Chick-fil-A. That's not dinner's ready, that's dinner's here. You can't take credit for that. But as I said, things were looking great between them.
Since you can predict exactly how everything's supposed to play out like a dance routine, what comes next?
Nothing could ever go wrong, right? Nothing would happen to ruin this.
I think we should break up.
Nope, they break up right after this. That is until Dallas's best friend shows up again and tells her that she needs to just get over it and stop acting like the main character.
I am sick and tired of your main character energy.
I'm sorry, Gabby. Have you seen the casting list for this movie? She quite literally is the main character. You literally aren't even listed on the Tubi page for this movie. And there's like 5 people listed on this page. I didn't even know who one of them was. You're just like me, okay? We're just here. But yeah, they're still broken up. And Dallas has her dance recital, which goes well, and she gets admitted into CalArt.
We'd be lucky to have you on campus next year.
Which means she makes it into the college of her dreams. And of course, Drayton's back.
I said I love you, Drayton Leahy.
She says she loves him. He says it like a
I love you too.
minute later. It took him very long to respond, but he did finally say it. But they kiss again. And apparently the kiss was so good that Drayton decided to give up being a quadruple legacy at Waco.
Nice catch, Cheer.
How will they ever recover from this? Oh my god, they need the legacies. Especially the quadruple ones, those are hard to come by. I still have no idea what that is. But instead, he goes to USC, which is right next to CalArts, so they are now together and in the same area as they go to college. And they live happily ever after. Or do they? They actually made a part 2 to this movie. Who knows what happens?